Must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618. If you're one of the millions of Americans who can't work because of a serious injury or illness, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. It doesn't matter if you've applied before and the government has said no. Let the experienced attorneys at Bill Gordon and Associates help you get the Social Security disability you deserve. Their team of attorneys have been fighting for benefits for people just like you for over 20 years. And best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. There are many conditions that make you eligible, including some you may not even be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call Bill Gordon and Associates today for your free, no-obligation consultation. See if you qualify for the Social Security benefits you need and deserve. 800-470-4453. 800-470-4453. That's 800-470-4453.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
All I've got to say is what a way to start the new year. We are back after about 20 minutes of some technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience. If we did lose you and you're listening, you can please log back on to Facebook Live and catch our show also streaming via BizTalk Radio. You can download the BizTalk Radio app, put that on your phone, take us wherever you go. But, of course, back live on Facebook. It is the new year. Happy New Year 2018. John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, ready to go. We'll get our guests lined up here. And for that matter, you can call us at 855-424-9825. You can also post your questions live on Facebook, questions, comments, also talk to each other, or email us, John at gardenamerica.com. That's all I have to say.
Hey, you know what, though? Just be happy you're right there on that end, okay? I'm getting all my New Year's glitches out of the way right now. So I spent New Year up north, San Jose, California. On the drive down, 2 flat tires.
2 flat tires.
On the New Year's, the January 2nd, 2 flat tires on the way.
Of all the people, you'd be the last one that I would think would ever get a flat tire.
I know.
But 2 of them. And
yeah.
Okay, so that means you put the spare on the first one, right?
Yeah.
Now there's no spare.
Now there's no spare.
Now, do you have the little fix-it flat?
Yeah, I do.
Did that get you to a gas station?
It did, because the first one was just a nail in the tire, but I changed it to the spare.
Right.
The second one was a blowout. So then I had to put the first one back on with the fix-it flat stuff. And that got me to the gas station.
And that was New Year's Day.
Yeah, and then we had to spend a night in a Motel 6 until we can go and get a new tire. So my New Year's is just starting off strong.
Okay, well, that's our New Year's glitch, hopefully, for the year, that first 20 minutes, although I am getting some comments on my phone that people can't hear us, or at least Dana can't hear us, so we'll just keep on going here until we get that verification. If you are listening or watching us on Facebook, shoot us a note or a comment on Facebook Live. Let us know that you are watching us. That said, we've gone a full 23 minutes without hearing anything from John Bagnasco.
That was my New Year's present.
Well, you know, the nice thing about starting out this way is things can only get better.
Can only get better.
Famous last words.
I hope so. Is it Tom Spellman who's scheduled today?
Yes.
Do I have that correct?
Right, from Dave Wilson Nursery.
Dave Wilson Nursery.
Right, fruit trees.
Okay, talking fruit trees. And now I get the thumbs up that audio is being received here in San Diego, so that's good. And we are back on Facebook Live. Okay, a very auspicious start, but we are back ready to go. Hope you had a good Christmas, a good New Year. Tiger's getting over a cold. John is just getting sick, and I'm feeling fine.
Well, we've been off for the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right?
It seems longer than that, doesn't it?
It does.
Seems
so
like...
you have to expect that we're going to be a little rusty.
Yeah, we got to shake the cobwebs off.
That's right.
That's what's going on. Anyway, okay, so here we are in January. Now, Tiger brought in some flowers. Is that just for decoration, or do we want to talk about those?
They're more for decoration, but I brought in some ranunculus. There's still some, which is that one, the kale or the cabbage?
That's kale.
Kale. And then I brought in, because we're talking Bareroot, I didn't have any Bareroot fruit trees to bring in, but I brought in a Bareroot rose so we can kind of talk about maybe some of the things to look for when you're picking out a Bareroot plant, about the root system, the canes, and things like that. So it's that time of year to get that garden planning going, or if you're in a more mild temperature area, you can do some planting.
Yes,
I heard some disturbing rumors about Bareroot roses this year.
Really? For this year, only things you have not heard before?
Since I haven't verified this, I won't give the name of the company.
Okay.
Because I don't think it would be fair.
Strictly a rumor, right?
Well, it's a rumor, but enough people are saying it, so I think that something's there. But
we'll keep the company out of it.
Apparently, one of the rose companies, the way that, when Jackson and Perkins was still in business, rose companies operated much differently than they do today. And they all had test areas for roses, and then they had the production areas. And you never mix those because if you got a disease or something in your test area,
gets into your
you didn't
production.
want it to spread into the crop, right?
I recall when we were in, was it France, when we went to that huge place that propagated roses?
Mayan, yeah.
Yeah, and we saw all those areas, the production, the testing, and all that.
That was awesome.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, Wasco, California is similar to that because a lot of roses are produced there. But anyway, one of the rose companies supposedly brought in some test roses from back east, an area that had rosette, which is a disease that has no cure, and we don't have in California yet. But when a rose gets it, it's gone. You've just got to dig it up and throw it out.
And it came from where again?
Somewhere from back east. But what happened was this company, instead of putting it in their test area, they mixed their test area with their production area. So they had a whole bunch of roses that ended up getting rosette.
Whoa.
So
now, do they know? I mean, is it controlled to a point where they know which ones got it and which ones didn't?
Supposedly, they went through and dug out a bunch of them and threw them away.
That's a huge mistake.
But there's still some that they weren't quite sure of. And rather than throw those roses away, they're shipping them back east because their thinking is, well, you already have rosette back there. Not going to hurt you if you get these.
Now, is this ever going to be verified?
I'm not really sure.
Will the culprits be accountable at some point in time?
Well, I'm sure they're upset about it.
Yeah, and I'm sure maybe some people don't have a job anymore.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, that's huge, John. I mean, I understand the enormity of that.
Well, it would really be bad if they got out into California gardens, because that's one disease that we really don't want. The rose just looks horrible, and it's a shame when you have to just destroy a rose like that.
Absolutely. Well, that's good news. Thank you for starting the new year off on the right track there, John. But
well, I do have some good news. I told you guys about...
Yeah, balance it out, will you please?
Yeah. Well, we had told our listeners in the beginning of December that if you were putting up your Christmas tree to mix some HB 101 into the soil. Not the soil,
yes,
but the water that the Christmas tree was in. And my tree that I just got rid of on Friday looked as good as the day that I got it. It was so fresh. And I was thinking, this isn't really a university study just because this one tree looks good. But a listener sent me a note that said the same thing with his. He used HB 101. And it looks perfect. He was even joking, I wonder if it's going to root.
That's funny,
it looks
yeah.
so good. HB 101. And another kind of positive thing is that we had a Christmas special like stocking stuffer special,
Right.
where you got like, I think it was either 25 or 30% off HB 101 if you bought the little package that had 2 bottles together.
Right.
And we did have some of those left over, so I left it up on our website.
So go to our website, gardenamerica.com, and take advantage of that special.
Yeah, because
Beautiful.
with spring coming on and
Right.
all the gardening that I know people back east listening to us are saying, "What are you talking about?
Gardening, yeah.
Spring coming back." We've got some of the coldest weather we've ever had, but yeah, take advantage of HB 101. It'll help all your gardening, and you can use it on indoor plants too.
Okay, it is break time. We are back on track. All the technical problems hopefully have disappeared. They are gone. We're going to move forward and not look in the rearview mirror. Tom Spellman is locked. He's ready to go. He's going to be our guest when we return. John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox 2018 with Garden America.
Do you want to take the great shows of Biz Talk Radio wherever you go? Well, now you can with the new Biz Talk Radio app for iPhone and Android devices. Now all the great shows of Biz Talk Radio are with you wherever you go, just an arm's reach away on your smartphone. Download today at the App Store or the Google Play Store and get the brand new Biz Talk Radio app. It's Biz for you wherever you go with the new Biz Talk Radio app.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
Hello, I'd like to deposit this to checking.
Fate is a fickle master. What? The future is uncertain.
Okay, and what's my account balance?
The horizon is cloudy. I see a long, treacherous voyage filled with great peril.
Look, can I just get a deposit slip or something?
A fortune bank teller. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I see a yellow-eyed serpent and a low APR.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Are you ready to leave your corporate job behind and be your own boss? Have you ever dreamed of owning a business? Do you have $50,000 or more sitting around in a 401k? If you answered yes, it's time to invest in yourself by buying or starting a business or franchise. IRS code allows you to use money in a 401k to invest in a business with absolutely no penalties or taxes. At Guidant Financial, we've helped more than 11,000 entrepreneurs invest $3 billion in retirement assets into the small businesses and franchises of their dreams. So if you've got $50,000 or more in a 401k and you're looking for a way to start a business, call Guidant Financial now for free information and to learn more. Operators are standing by for your call. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630.
Hey, travelers. Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. You get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business in first-class tickets.
855-325-1769. 855-325-1769. That's 855-325-1769.
How old are you? 25, 35, 50, or older? If you have pain, we can help. Do your knees hurt?
Ow.
Let me ask you again. Are your knees killing you?
Oh, yeah. Are they ever?
What about your back? When you bend over, does it feel like this? How about when you get out of bed in the morning? If you're like me, your knees and back feel like this.
Oh, that hurts.
I found a company called the Pain Relief Hotline. They specialize in ways to treat your knee, back, and neck pain without surgery or taking medications. The good news is if you have insurance, you may have little or no cost or out-of-pocket expense. I've used them. It works. Call the Pain Relief Hotline now for free information. 800-303-4607. 800-303-4607. Call now. 800-303-4607. That's 800-303-4607.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
And once again, want to thank all of you who were with us top of the hour and sat through the 20 minutes of our technical problems. The audio is back, and we do appreciate that as we kick off our first show of 2018. Tom Spellman is locked, ready to go. He is standing by. I think you're going to enjoy this interview. We've got a surprise, some things happening. First of all, though, the very first quote of the week for 2018, I give you John Bagnasco.
You know, in thinking of you, Brian, I made it really short.
Boy, it's just it's quick. It's in and out.
It's like one of the shortest ones we ever had.
Is this like the shortest verse in the Bible?
Not as short as the...
Jesus wept.
I knew that.
Okay, all right.
Also not as short as the world's shortest poem. The shortest poem ever written was called, do you remember?
No.
It was called Fleas. And the poem goes, Adam had him.
Adam had him. All right. So
anyway.
Now we've got the shortest quote coming up.
And this quote is from Tom Liggett, who is a Rosarian. And I don't really know a lot about Tom, but I was reading a little bit about his biography, and he was born in a bordello.
Wow.
And
it's getting interesting already.
Well, and it's, you know, from what most people would think is a disaster for failure, you know, because of his early childhood, he ended up making quite a name for himself as an author and philanthropist and as a Rosarian.
So his background is actually longer than the quote.
Much longer. Anyway, his quote was, "Gardens do not long survive them as made 'em."
Them as made 'em? And what about his English again?
Well, you know, that's kind of a little Southern.
Okay, gotcha. We do get it.
Yeah.
37 minutes after the hour. Okay, questions, John at gardenamerica.com. Questions, Facebook Live. You can also call us, 855-424-9825. With that, we're going to bring on Tom Spellman. This should evoke some questions, Tiger.
Yeah. So today, since we're into January now, it's, I would say, the start of the Bareroot fruit tree season. Tom Spellman from Dave Wilson Fruit Trees has joined us this morning to talk about Bareroot trees, what to expect, planting them, what to look for, varieties and things. But also he's going to be talking about some new introductions that Dave Wilson has. So we're really excited to hear some of this stuff. So, Tom, without further ado, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Tom.
Hey, good morning and Happy New Year to everyone.
Right back at you.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us this morning, Tom. Hope you're doing okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everything's good. You know, we're delivering trees all around the country like madmen right now. This is our big crunch season. So
now, have you guys already harvested?
Yeah, have you harvested yet?
Do you harvest and ship at the same time?
Yeah, we started harvesting about a month ago, and we'll be harvesting probably through the month of January. So a lot of trees to come out of the ground.
Yeah, that is. Well, we're really excited. So why don't we go ahead and just get with the idea of a Bareroot tree, and you know, why should people consider Bareroot, and what are some of the benefits? What are some of the things people need to look for? Because I know that there's a lot of grades when it comes to Bareroot plants, and so what do people need to be aware of?
Well, Bareroot is an opportunity to look at the entire tree. You can look at not only the top, but you can look at the root system. You can make sure that it's balanced. You can make sure that the tree is clean, the grass is good. We've kind of been spoiled over the last 3 or 4 decades with much more availability in container trees than in Bareroot. So this is also an opportunity to be able to pick up some of the more obscure varieties. A lot of the growers out there, a lot of the retailers won't carry some of the more obscure selections in container stock, but you can find them this time of year in Bareroot. They're not opposed to bringing in 5 or 10 or 20 early in the season that they can sell. So selection, by far is the most important consideration for obtaining Bareroot trees.
And when you talk about selection, I know each region is different, because I know that, for instance, cherries have a specific chill hour requirement, and different varieties of fruit have specific requirements. Some are more mildew resistant, some are more heat tolerant, things like that. What are some things that people need to consider when picking out a tree at this point in time?
Well, I think one of the most important considerations is the fact that the tree is the last thing you need. You want to make sure that when you buy the tree, when you pick up the tree from the retail nursery, that you're ready for it. You want to make sure that your hole's dug, that your soil's prepped, that your irrigation's in, and you want to get that tree in the ground as soon as possible. Now, I know if we're talking to some of our East Coast listeners right now, that's not going to be possible. So considerations would be, you're probably going to purchase later on in the season, but if you're buying from a mail order source or an e-commerce source, then you want to make sure that you're able to store that tree in a manner where you're keeping the root system moist, you're keeping the tree out of the wind, out of the sun, in a dark area that's cool. So, and I don't think cool will be a problem on the East Coast right now.
Definitely.
But, in California, on the West Coast, it's a completely different thing. We're having a dry, very low humidity, windy, warm winter. So it would be really important to make sure that you're ready for that tree when you bring that tree home. The day you bring it home, you want it planted, you want it irrigated in, you want it pruned, and you want to get some whitewash on it to protect against sunburn, for the new growing season. So, be prepared. That's probably the best information I can pass on today.
Now, you mentioned something that made a question pop into my head. Southern California, we're back into the middle of a kind of a drought time where we haven't had rain in a while. And normally when we're planting Bareroot fruit trees, we do have some rain. And so usually people, like you say, plant it, get it dug in, water it in once, but then they don't really have to water it again for a while because there's rain and it's cooler temperatures. In a year like this, what do you recommend still for people? Should they just do the one watering and then wait until the buds start to come out, or do they need to continue watering?
Well, the most important consideration is that initial watering. You want to make sure that you irrigate it in several times. You want to get all the air pockets out of the soil, and you want that soil to be wet. So when you walk away from that tree, it has plenty of moisture content in the soil to sustain itself for a while. But, in a dry year like this, I would always recommend maybe checking the soil around that tree with a moisture meter, maybe on a weekly basis if we haven't had any rain. And if that moisture meter starts to read down, below the middle to toward the dry end of the spectrum, then they definitely want to do a supplemental irrigation.
Okay. Anything else to consider when picking out the Bareroot trees right now from a nursery?
Well, just make sure that you've done your homework on varieties. I see a lot of people that are really, really planning nowadays. They're planning out their successive ripening backyard orchards so that they have fruit, all year long or all season long in a climate that's only adaptable to that. So, you want fruit from the earliest part of the season to the latest part of the season. So if you're, in Southern California, it's easy with the subtropicals that we have. We can pick fruit on a daily basis. But if you're in an area where you can't, you want to make sure that you're running the whole spectrum of the calendar that you can to have ripe fruit as often as possible throughout that season. And not too many varieties that ripen up at one time. You know, if you just went to the nursery and said, oh, well, that plum looks good and that peach looks good, and I'll buy a couple of these and a couple of those, and chances are you're going to get most of your fruit clustered into that July, August range. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the harvest season so that you do get early, mid-season, late-season fruit.
Hey, Tom, this is Bryan. I've got a question because you mentioned about doing your research, make sure the hole is dug, and getting prepared so that when you buy the tree, you're ready to go. But I would imagine trees would require maybe something a little different, each species. So is it a cookie-cutter thing, or do you need to research even more depending upon the kind of fruit tree that you buy in preparation for the planting?
Well, Bryan, that depends on how diverse your selections are. I think in general, if you're considering stone fruits and palm fruits, peach, plum, nectarine, apricot, apples, pears, persimmons, different things like that, the most of the requirements are going to be fairly similar. And one of the things that I always recommend people pay attention to is drainage. Some varieties will take a heavy soil without much drainage, but a lot of varieties, a lot of rootstocks, like that fast-draining soil. So if you have a heavy clay-type soil, almost everything will adapt to that if you grow it on a little bit of a rise. So if you mound that tree up, say 8 or 12 inches above grade, and then create your basin out beyond that mound for irrigation, then that's going to give you the ability for that top root to oxygenate well. It's going to be able to drain well. That stagnant irrigation situation is going to be able to get away from that top root, and that's really important to longevity and overall tree success. If you drive up through the San Joaquin Valley now and look at all the new plantings that are going into the ground, regardless of whether they have good drainage or not, they've raised up a row 12 inches or even 18 inches above the soil level.
Do you have a small yard and think you don't have the room for fruit trees? Well, think again. Dave Wilson Nursery wants to show you how to grow great-tasting fruits like peaches, apples, pluots, and much more in small areas, even in patio containers, too. It's called Backyard Orchard Culture. You get step-by-step information via the Fruit Tube videos at davewilson.com. That's where you'll find the closest nursery to you that carries Dave Wilson's quality fruit trees. Start the backyard orchard of your dreams at davewilson.com.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for under $30,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet under $30,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait.
Call 800-605-5370. 800-605-5370. Call 800-605-5370.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, We specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stay tuned for a special offer from the makers of Listen Clear, a revolutionary hearing aid breakthrough designed by top audio engineers to fit your ear almost invisibly. Right now, you can try Listen Clear hearing aids absolutely free for 45 days. You can also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear hearing aids are so lightweight and comfortable, you can wear them all day long. They're practically invisible, too, so others won't even notice you're wearing them. And the best part is, you'll be able to hear almost everything, everywhere. So do something about your hearing loss. Call Listen Clear now to get started with your 45-day risk-free hearing aid trial. This special offer won't be available for long, so call Listen Clear now.
800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. 800-716-4650. We're here 24 hours a day to help. That's 800-716-4650. Investing is a long-term process. How many times can you think of in the last decade that the stock market has destroyed retirement funds for people just like you and me? For your existing IRA, you need the security that gold has provided for centuries. Remember, gold has never been worth zero. Capital Gold would like to introduce you to the Home Storage Gold IRA. It's a self-directed IRA set up with all the protection and tax benefits of an LLC. But the big difference in this IRA is you invest in gold and you hold it in your possession. You can't do that with stocks. That's security. You can transfer any type of IRA hassle-free in days. Please call right now and learn more, and we'll waive the $500 setup fee and give you a free safe to store your gold. Call 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. 800-223-0092. That's 800-223-0092.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or john@gardenamerica.com.
And we do apologize for going to that quick break. We cut in the middle of Tom Spellman there, but we are back as we still continue to settle things here, getting our act together. It is 51 minutes after the hour. Again, Facebook Live with your questions, comments. Also, John at gardenamerica.com, 855-424-9825. As we go back to Tom, Tiger, and wrap things up for this Saturday morning.
Yeah, Tom, before we were getting cut off, we were talking about some of the tips when it comes to Bareroot planting and the watering and, care for each one. Next, I wanted to ask you, you had said there's some new varieties that you were excited to tell people about. I know one of them is a real interesting combination of, I think it was a plum cherry you had mentioned?
Yeah, we're actually working on a whole new series of interspecific hybrids, and they're tagged as plueries, which is a combination between plum and cherry. And we probably have over 100 varieties under evaluation now, with all different characteristics, ripening periods from late April all the way into October. But we've released 3 varieties already within the series, and they're just fantastic. The flavor of the fruit is incredible, plum with a cherry overtone. They're small fruits about the size of a ping pong ball, but very heavy producers. I mean, they produce in clusters on the tree. So the first variety is a variety that we call Sweet Treat, and it's a variety that's ripe through the month of July on the West Coast. It would be a little bit later on the East Coast. It's adaptable to all different climates. It's a very low chill rated variety, but will take absolutely high chill climates. So it's a really nice fruit, dark red exterior with a nice amber speckled red flesh, and just an incredible flavor. So I really like that one. And we have a couple of other varieties.
And just so you know, Tom, right now I did load up that link to our Facebook Live viewers for the link to your guys' website for the sweet treat.
Oh, yeah, all that information is on our website, under the variety description section. Make sure people go to the home grower section. They don't want to go to the commercial farmer section or the retail nursery section. They go to the home grower section, and all that backyard orchard culture information is there on, what to do effectively in your backyard landscape as opposed to what a farmer would do.
Hey, I got a quick question, Tom, on the plum cherry. Is it lean toward the sweet side? It sounds very interesting and very tasty.
They do lean toward the sweet side, but they have a nice complex flavor. It's not like it's just all sugar like a subacid variety. They definitely have a sugar to acid balance. And a couple of other varieties that we've introduced, Candy Heart, which is an August ripening selection, and Sugar Twist, which is a June ripening selection, give growers the ability to extend out that season, and that's what we're all about, making sure that people can extend their season from the earliest to the latest. So far, we've only released those three varieties, but, a June, a July, and an August selection. And they are just incredible pieces of fruit. If you planted the three varieties together, they would interpollinate, or you could plant them with a pluot variety like Flavor King or Flavor Grenade, or you could put them in with Japanese plum selection like Burgundy or Santa Rosa. But they do require some cross-pollination, but they're very easy to cross-pollinate. It's not like they're only limited to those varieties. If you have another pluot or another Japanese plum selection, there's about a 95% chance it's going to be an effective pollinator for these.
It's interesting, too, because I'm looking at the sweet treat, and it only had listed a requirement of 450 chill hours, but then the Sugar Twist is requiring, it says 800?
Yeah, we've actually downgraded all of them at this point. Sweet Treat has done well with less than 200 chill hours, and the other two varieties have both done well with less than 500. So they're pretty adaptable. I don't think I'd recommend Sugar Twist for Point Loma, but certainly if, in East County, San Diego, you're going to do fine with it. But and anywhere else in the country is fine. But the definite winner for low chill coastal growing in California would be the variety Sweet Treat.
Okay, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, excellent.
Is there any other trees that you wanted to mention?
Well, Tiger, we're coming up with new selections every year. We have a really nice new peach selection that we've released this year. It's a donut-style peach that is ripe about a month earlier than the other donut-style selections, and it's a really big fruit. So I've really enjoyed using that variety. And the name of it is Sazi Swirl. So it's just a large-sized, early-ripening, saucer-type, donut-type peach that, again, shows great adaptability. It's coastally adaptable in California or inland valleys, and it looks like it's going to take it's been experimented with in Idaho and Colorado, and it's done well in those climates as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I know you guys are in the middle of your busy time right now with the Bareroot season in full swing, but it's always a pleasure chatting with you and learning something new, and we're really excited to see what you guys have developed and what you guys have developing in the future, and look forward to chatting with you in the future.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to talk with you guys, and just remember, any information from Dave Wilson Nursery is available on our website, davewilson.com.
All right, I'll post that link as well. Thank you very much, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Good information.
Thanks so much.
So he said through October, enough stuff going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a busy time for the growers in the sense of people don't always know that, they have so much going on during certain times of the year, and they have to get it done. That it's a high stress kind of environment.
Well, it's 12 months out of the year. I don't think they slow down really at any time, do they?
No, but the shipping is all. The shipping. I think Tiger's right. Would be similar to Christmas tree farming.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to harvest your crop right then and get it out, or you've missed the season.
Right, and and the slightest little hiccup or delay can throw things off.
You can't because you can't make up the time.
No,
There's no way. Once it's gone, it's gone.
But though I do see with them in certain times of their seasons as far as shipping is that, it's nice. I think that sometimes the weather plays havoc on them.
Right.
And it seems like they can control it when there's no rain better than when there's a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Because then it's hard to harvest.
Okay, break time coming up. We've got news top of the hour on many of these fine BizTalk Radio affiliates. And, of course, Facebook Live. We continue at 6 minutes after. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you post them on Facebook Live. Or you can email us at john@gardenamerica.com. So get ready. Hour number 2 coming up 6 minutes after. Thank you so much. John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main. Tiger Palafox. First show of 2018. This is Garden America. Stay with us.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does not constitute a recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or service. If you have any questions about Biz Talk Radio, contact us at 817-274-1609 or at biztalkradio.com. Biz Talk Radio.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King. President Trump is meeting with GOP leaders at Camp David this weekend. Before he left, the president spoke to reporters about the economy.
The market is good. The jobs reports were very good, and we think they're going to get really good over the next couple of months.
148,000 jobs were added in December. The president refused to answer any questions reporters asked about a new book that blasts his administration. Author Michael Wolff tells NBC Today White House staffers didn't say anything positive about Trump.
They say he's a moron, an idiot.
Wolff said yesterday that he absolutely spoke to the president, whether he realized it was an interview or not. The new book is the top seller online. Trump has said the book is full of lies. You're listening to USA Radio News.
Hello, I'm Herman Cain. I am a less taxes, less government, more individual responsibility conservative. And our voices are being drowned out with the help of the liberal media. We have to make sure that we are relying upon reliable conservative sources. One of those sources is the Western Conservative Conference. I'm going to be there because I want to help inform and inspire conservatives that we are not going to allow our culture to be destroyed by the liberal mindset that's sweeping across this country. WesternConservative.org is where you can sign up. I'm going to be there along with Congressman Andy Biggs and others to inform and inspire.
Reserve your tickets before the end of the year and get in for half price. Go to westernconservative.org. Reserve your seats today at half price at westernconservative.org. That's westernconservative.org.
I'm Herman Cain. I'll see you in Phoenix, March 23rd.
Two top Republicans on a panel investigating Russia's meddling in the 2016 presidential election recommended a criminal investigation on Friday into the author of a dossier on President Donald Trump. Senators Chuck Grassley, chairman of the Senate Committee on the Judiciary, and Lindsey Graham of South Carolina made the recommendation in a letter to Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray. The United States has agreed to delay annual war games with South Korea until late March to avoid occurring during the Winter Olympics, set to be played in February in Pyeongchang, South Korea. A delay of the annual joint military exercise known as Full Eagle had been requested a month ago by South Korea. On Thursday, President Trump and South Korean President Moon Jae-in spoke on the phone and reached an agreement on the delay. This is USA Radio News.
You know, when the Israelites got to the desert, they were given manna from heaven. Well, we may not have manna, but we do have new manna. In these uncertain times, become food independent with new manna's long-term storable food. Healthy, nutritious, dense meals, organic, non-GMO, taste great, and last for over 25 years. Oh, and gluten-free is available. Order now and get 20% off, free shipping, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just use promo code WAR. Call 888-597-0775, 888-597-0775, or go to newmanna.com.
Americans who have a lot more stuff than they can handle continue to fuel an industry that is growing bigger and bigger every day. John Clemens reports.
That industry is self-storage that reports over $3 billion in new construction in 2017. Sparefoot, where Alexander Harris works, tracks the self-storage industry.
Self-storage industry is a more than $30 billion business, even more, and it's getting bigger every day.
Alexander Harris of Sparefoot also tells us one facility in Queens recently sold for $94 million. Online companies are also using self-storage for their excess inventory. I'm John Clemens.
A San Francisco judge on Friday sentenced a homeless, undocumented immigrant to time served on gun charges several weeks after his acquittal in the death of Kate Steinle. Judge Samuel Fang sentenced Jose Inez Garcia Zarate to 3 years in prison, but because he received credit for time served, he won't spend any further time in jail. He was convicted for being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition and possessing a firearm and ammunition as an illegal alien. Prosecutors said Garcia Zarate shot Steinle in the back as she and her father walked down Pier 14 in San Francisco Bay. On July 1, 2015, the defense said he found the gun on the ground and accidentally fired it.
For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
Due to an upturn in the economy, Main Street Business Loans has pre-approved the release of millions of dollars in small business funding. Your business may already be pre-approved to receive up to $250,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the time to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees, no annual fees, just quick access to up to $250,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now.
800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. 800-430-7570. That's 800-430-7570.
Welcome to the Garden America Radio Show, the country's most listened to gardening program. This is your chance to talk about gardening, horticulture, landscaping, in fact, anything that has to do in the world of gardening. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or send us your questions and comments to john@gardenamerica.com. Now, here's Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, and Tiger Palafox on Biz Talk Radio and the Garden America Radio Network.
All right, it is 6 minutes after the hour. Back after the short break there. Hope you had a good break. We had a good break too. We are back for hour number 2 here, and hopefully a problem-free hour here on Garden America, our first show.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, exactly. The second hour of our first show here in 2018. 855-424-9825. Want to give us a phone call, questions, comments. What most people are doing these days are posting their questions, comments on Facebook Live, or you can email us, john@gardenamerica.com. So, learned a lot from Tom Spellman. What's going on in that world of his, Tiger?
Yeah, exactly. And, I brought in this wonderful Bareroot rose that I put in between John and I right now. It's Black Baccarat. It's from Star Roses. And the reason why I brought it in was just to kind of have a visual for Bareroot in general. And, what do you think people, when they're buying a Bareroot item, John, look for? For instance, this one has a broken root here that's just hanging off from down below. It's got a good root structure, but it does have one broken. Is that going to be a big problem or not?
No. The thing you want to do, though, is cut it off because I don't know if you knew this. I might be teaching you something today.
I'm listening.
Is roses can get a disease called rose gall.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, and it right at the base of the rose, this gall, it looks like a cancerous growth. It's like a tumor.
Like a tumor.
Yeah, it'll grow and it kills the plant. There's no cure for it, or at least no cure available to the homeowner for it. So the only way that gall gets into the plant, though, because you can have the disease organisms in the soil, it can only get to the plant through
the root system,
through a damaged root system or through a cut root in the root system. If you planted a rose that had no damage to the roots, you'd have no problem.
Okay.
So that's one thing to remember when you're cutting the rose is you are opening it up to gall. But I would say that...
Is that where the term came from? You've got a lot of gall.
It is kind of unlikely. If you haven't experienced it in your soils before, I really wouldn't worry about it. In a rose like this where you're showing some of those broken roots, and you can see them, you just go through and clip them off. I mean, if you were really, really concerned, you might want to cut it and then put it into a container, maybe a 2-gallon container with potting soil, sterilized potting soil, and let it grow, and then plant it out later. But I think that 99% of the cases, it's safe just to put them in the ground.
Otherwise, it looks very healthy.
Yeah.
Well, Black Baccara is one of the roses that everybody wants because it's the blackest of all the roses.
Is it the blackest of all roses?
Yeah.
Black Baccara.
I used to collect black roses. I used to collect roses by color, and brown roses and black roses and green roses were the ones that I really liked.
I know my son's wife, Katie, was looking for a black rose for a long time.
This would be the one to get her because it's black when it opens up. Most black roses are kind of a black-red.
Very popular among the goth crowd, right?
Could be, if they're into roses. But it's a florist rose. And like most florist roses, it's not really hardy and vigorous. So it does require a little bit of babying to make it look its best.
You know, speaking of that, I told you before the show that I bought my wife Dana some florist roses for Christmas, and I put HB 101 in the water. And I'd say they lasted a good 2 weeks.
Now, that's unusual for a florist rose.
2 weeks, exactly. I just put some in the water, gave it good water, mixed it up, and they just kept going. So perhaps another use for HB 101 if you're considering it for, again, florist rose.
Yeah. I use that stuff on everything now, especially when I transplant something.
Dana wants to drink it. I know that they've said that it won't hurt you, but it's not recommended.
Well, it's not recommended because it's not approved in the U.S. for human consumption.
Right.
It is in Japan. So if Dana wants to go to Japan and drink some,
now what do they do?
Problem.
They add it to their drinks, or
a few drops in water and drink a glass of water.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure the one that they use over there, so-called medicinally, is a different dilution rate or not. Anyway, we're not recommending you do that.
That's a big disclaimer.
You know, while we're talking about roses, I wanted to mention that in this week's newsletter, which you can easily get if you don't get now because it comes out every Friday. All you have to do is go to, Bryan?
GardenAmerica.com.
Right.
And then on the homepage, you can sign up.
In the upper right-hand corner.
Sign up for the newsletter.
Just put in your email address, and it'll come out to you every Friday. But there was an article that Jerry Jennings wrote called Rose Rustling California Style. And in that book, or in that article, she mentions a book that she was greatly influenced by. And I was too. And the book was called In Search of Lost Roses by Thomas Christopher. And it's one of those, you know, every now and then you'll read a book that just really inspires you to do something. And she said this really inspired her to go out and to try to rustle some roses. And rose rustling, basically, for our listeners that don't know, is finding roses in cemeteries or ghost towns that have just barely survived. Well, maybe not even barely survived, maybe heartily survived.
Yeah, the roses do well on their own.
For all these years, but taking cuttings from them, rooting them, and trying to bring them back into cultivation. Because in many cases, rose rustlers will go somewhere, take roses, get them rooted and started, go back to the same location a year or two later, and that rose is gone. You know, for different reasons. You know, someone might have moved in and done some construction.
Right.
And I know one of my favorite roses is one called Crestline Mulberry, which was found next to the Mulberry Antique Shop in Crestline, California. And the person who took the cutting, I believe it was Kim Rupert, was really attracted by the fact that the rose was so fragrant and such a good color and looked really good. And he asked the person who owned the shop, is it all right if I take a cutting of it? And he says, oh, yeah. He says, it's really hardy. He said, when we moved here, he said, I went through and dug it out. And it came back the next year. And then during the winter, we
can't get rid of it.
Put salt over the area to melt all the ice that was there. And then we took a tractor and went over, and it still came back. So most roses won't do that, though. Once you do that to them, they're gone. So anyway, he saved that rose. Anyway, that's what rose rustling's all about. But the reason I wanted to mention this is that book, In Search of Lost Roses, which I'd recommend is a great read for any garden lover, by Thomas Christopher. I got an email from Thomas Christopher.
You did?
And he said that he read the article. He thought that it was really well written, and he wanted me to pass on thanks to Jerry Jennings for writing that article.
Hey, we should mention, too, that roses in the wild never get cut back either. You know, we're so concerned about cutting back roses, excuse me, every year that nobody's, paying attention to them, and they do quite well.
Well, species roses haven't been bred for, it would be like... I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but it almost might be like saying wolves do real well in the wild, but poodles not so much.
Okay. I get the analogy.
Yeah, poodles were bred to sit in your lap at home.
Right.
Where, wolves fend for themselves in the wild. And modern roses that we use in our gardens, like hybrid teas, are really bred for garden settings.
It's almost like they've been domesticated.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of that, it's January. Time to cut back?
Depends where you are.
Okay. Well, you know where I am.
Depends on how much you're enjoying it.
And I think I'm going to start cutting back, even though I'm still getting, I get year-round growth, John.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, especially when the weather's as warm as this.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in the northern part of the country, you don't have anything to worry about. In the southern states, you should be cutting back right about now, except here in California, we haven't gotten cold enough for the leaves to fall off. So there's a couple things you can do if you're in California. Now, I got an email from a listener in St. Petersburg, Florida. Florida, uncharacteristically, with that bomb cyclone weather,
is cold, isn't it?
Is getting cold, and they're going to have their roses go dormant where normally they wouldn't. So they're set. But here in Southern California, where we have had no cold weather yet, and the roses, like you said, are full of blooms, full of buds, but they do need to be cut back. I'd probably recommend waiting till the end of the month.
Okay.
Because we might still get a little bit of cold weather, and that would be better for the rose. But if you do cut back your roses and they aren't going dormant, one thing you have to remember is to pull off all the old leaves.
Right.
And the reason you're going to pull off all the old leaves is that's where the disease is going to form. And you don't want that on the new growth. So we'll talk a little bit more about this when we come back from the break.
As they say on the other side.
All right. I'll be waiting.
60 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. And again, rose questions, whatever, right there on Facebook, or John at GardenAmerica.com. Tiger Palafox, I'm Bryan Main. John Bagnasco, first show of 2018. Thank you for tuning in to Garden America.
Do you have insects on your roses? Do you have borers damaging your trees and shrubs due to stress or the drought? This is Tiger Palafox with Garden America Radio. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench is a great product that will give you season-long protection against many insects. Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench can act as a preventer or a curative for insects that suck, chew, or bore on your plants. This may be the easiest product to use. Simply measure, mix in a bucket, and pour around the base of the tree. One application can last up to a full year. Protect your trees with Fertilome Tree and Shrub Drench. Find it at your local independent nursery or fertilome.com.
It's Bareroot fruit tree season, and you probably have a million questions. Which fruits will grow well here? What are the tastiest fruits? How do I care for them? The answers? They're just a click away with the informative Fruit Tube videos at DaveWilson.com. That's Dave Wilson Nursery, the nation's largest grower of fruit trees for the backyard garden. They have planting tips, taste test results, and links to nurseries in your area that carry Dave Wilson fruit trees. Your harvest to better health begins at DaveWilson.com.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day, because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit Doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 11ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.11ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 11ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-607-8945. That's 1-800-607-8945. Again, 1-800-607-8945.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-935-0752 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-935-0752. That's 800-935-0752. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at GardenAmerica.com.
We are back here on Garden America. Thank you so much. It is hour number 2 at 21 minutes after. Garden America for 2018, going to be a big year here on Biz Talk Radio, 855-424-9825. John at GardenAmerica.com. And I think you mentioned, Tiger, do we have some Facebook questions or any question?
Yeah, we have a lot of chatter going on right now.
Well, let's get to it. Let's do it.
From Lenore, she says her first cherry tree died after a short start, but the second is doing well after watering almost daily, and she was wondering if this is unusual. And I mean, there's so many variables right there in that
cherry
comment.
trees they want cold weather, right?
Well, they want cold weather, but that not necessarily could be the problem. I mean, there's, like I say, so much. I mean, you know, when was it planted? How was it planted?
What did you feed it with?
What type of soil?
What type of soil? That it's kind of a tough thing to say, you know, is this an unusual thing or not? Now, I will say, though, that if you plant a Bareroot fruit tree in general, and you plant it usually sometime in the month of January, February, that's probably your most successful time to plant any of those things. Just because they are dormant, it is cooler weather. There's a lot more leeway when it comes to planting at that point in time. So if you were to plant it, though, in June or July, I'd say it's very common for them to die. People can't always, you know, you're taking a tree that's young, new growing, and if you don't water it correctly during some of the hottest months of the year, then you're going to have problems, and it's tough sometimes. So,
well, also Lenore lives in canyon country, which gets pretty hot during the summertime. So that first year is really important to get
established.
Any bare root established. Even on roses, even though roses are smaller and have a smaller root system, it's still important to get them over that through that first summer with the extra heat. Once the rose is established, they're almost drought tolerant.
Correct.
I mean, they're not going to look great if you don't water them. But
and the trees, and the stone fruits also. Once they're established, they're really tolerant to a lot of environments as well.
I've noticed with deciduous plants in general that if you go into, and a lot of this will happen in Palm Springs, if you think about the hot weather over there.
Yeah.
That what happens to them is they just go dormant. Even though they might not drop their leaves, but to them it'll be just like winter. They just stop growing. And
they don't die, they just stop growing.
Right, and then they'll come back as soon as the weather conditions are favorable.
And a question underneath that, I believe, Tiger.
Yeah, and then from Betty, she says, unusual weather on the East Coast this season. When would it be best to plant the pluary bare? Kind of on our same topic. For back east people, I would say you're waiting until after the.
You're looking probably towards the end of April.
So almost after the last.
You want to wait till it warms up
for them,
right? Mainly because you have to wait for the ground to thaw out so you can dig into it.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, for our more mild people, the pluary you can plant now.
I would say starting now through maybe through the 1st of March.
Uh-huh.
And that's warmer states,
right?
Obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
You can actually plant them year-round here, but then, especially if it's bare root, as you start getting towards the end of February, the plant starts to stress out because it's been, they'll start to leaf out for one thing. And if they start to leaf out, bare root means that they're not in the soil. They don't have nutrients around them. So they're leafing out, and how are those leaves being able to grow? They're pulling from the plant. And that's the same thing that happens with bare root roses. Mm-hmm. If you go into like one of the chain stores and you'll see them in packages.
Bags.
They're usually in bags. They'll start growing and leafing out. And in garden centers, when we used to carry roses that way, we would go through and actually pull off all the new growth because there's nothing to support that growth.
Right.
And it just continues to deplete the nutrients stored up in the plants. And when you do go to plant them, they have a tough time making it.
Also, that means that it's growing. And, when you pull that bare root, if it's out of a bin, when you pull it out, it's got those little white
feeder roots
have started.
On it. Yeah.
And you can damage it by, again, trying to pull it out, package it, take it home. They can dry, those little white feeder roots, they can dry out in hours in some environments if you leave it in your car and you go shopping or whatever. And then when you get to go home, all the foliage that has popped out on it has already kind of started to wilt and you're stressed out the plant. So, you want to do bare root before that becomes a problem. So usually before the first part of March. Your window for bare root is very small. January to February for mild temperatures. Obviously, East Coast people, after the last frost, you have a little bit of time before that. But, yeah, definitely small window for bare root.
Well, Betty, hope that helps you. John, do you have any email questions?
I don't.
Wow, that's unusual.
Let's go home.
No, we got another half hour here. Send John your email questions, john@gardenamerica.com. Make him feel welcome in 2018. Now, here's something else. What is the proper decorum? When do you stop saying Happy New Year? End of January?
I think the end of this week.
I might even agree with you.
Yeah.
Until I see them for the first time after New Year.
Yeah, well, that's true. You might not see them until March.
Exactly.
Happy New Year, Tiger.
You know what? I did finish this to start the new year off. I feel really happy about this.
You finished a book, didn't you?
No.
Oh, darn it.
No, I haven't read a book since my accident. I haven't been able to read. I've tried.
You can't concentrate? You just can't?
Not for a long period of time. I can maybe like 5-10 minutes.
You know what I'd start off with?
Much.
You have to acclimate yourself back in.
Jack and Jill I read over and over again.
Jack and Jill, Dick and Jane, And I would do Dr. Seuss. I would try one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish as a start. But anyway.
I tried that, and then I lost count.
Yeah, it happens.
Anyway, what I did accomplish was every single rose in my yard has now been pruned. I found roses that I was looking for.
That you didn't know you had, or you
I
thought you
thought
lost
I
them?
had. I just didn't know where they were. And so now everything, probably have 50 without tags.
What is the rarest rose you have?
God, the rarest rose I have.
That you don't want anything to happen to this thing, or you may not get another one.
I don't know. One that I just found that's a pretty rare rose is called Tom Delahanty. And it's a sport of hurdy-gurdy.
I'm thinking of Donovan when you say that.
Which is a climbing miniature from Ralph Moore. But this sport is a bush. So it's a little striped miniature, but it doesn't climb. It makes a nice bush. So that's probably one of the rarest, and I'm really excited I found it. But I have some new ones that I planted that are blooming for the first time that I am really excited about from South Africa.
Beautiful. It is break time once again. Questions on Facebook Live. As you just heard, we answer them. Hopefully we gave you the answer you were looking for as we help you along the way. Also, email John. That's john@gardenamerica.com, where we'll take your phone calls as well in 2018 at 855-424-9825. Brian Main, Tiger Palafox, and John Bagnasco coming back.
Sometimes business owners and entrepreneurs don't follow a traditional schedule. Well, that's where Biz TV's Biz Club can work for you on your time. For only $5.95 a month, you can have over 200 hours of our fresh, original content on demand, anywhere, anytime. And with our search feature, you can quickly and easily find the topic or show you're looking for in seconds. Sign up today and see what you've been missing. Free for 7 days. Join the Biz Club. It's Biz TV. On your time.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. 888-785-0618. That's 888-785-0618.
Hello, I'd like to deposit this to checking. Fate is a fickle master. What? The future is uncertain. Okay, and what's my account balance? The horizon is cloudy. I see a long, treacherous voyage filled with great peril. Look, can I just get a deposit slip or something?
A fortune bank teller. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I see a yellow-eyed serpent and a low APR.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1769. 855-325-1769. That's 855-325-1769. Do you have an old car sitting in your driveway? How would you like to learn a hassle-free way to get rid of it, help kids in need, and get a great tax donation in the process? It's real easy. One simple free call to our car donation hotline is all it takes. Call the Neshama Foundation at 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. We'll come pick your car up for free and give you a tax donation for the full value of the car, running or not. The value of your unwanted car will go to help kids in need. It's fast and easy. Just call us and your car will be gone and on its way to helping children in 48 hours. And you get a nice tax deduction. Call the Neshama Foundation now to get rid of your car, help kids, and get a tax write-off. Call 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723, 800-721-6723. That's 800-721-6723.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. 800-217-5107. That's 800-217-5107.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is 35 minutes after the hour. This is our first show of 2018. Thank you for joining us here on Garden America. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco, Bryan, Maine. You can email us, john at gardenamerica.com. Post your questions, comments right there on Facebook Live, as some of you have done this morning. And also 855-424-9825. Speaking a lot about roses this morning, John. And you said you found a few that you didn't know you had, or at least thought you lost. And you've tagged them all, right?
Well, except for the 50 or 60 that I can't identify.
You have no idea what they are, huh?
Not yet, but they're in an area, and as they come into bloom, I might be able to find out what they are.
And there's no Rose app for that. You can't just take a picture, huh?
No.
I know a lot of people work on plant identification, but if you could specify just a certain species of plants, roses, that would be kind of cool.
And I'll tell you one thing. A lot of people send me pictures of roses asking me what they are. And I'll tell you right now, I'm much better at telling you what a rose is not than what it is. I can say, no, it's not that, but I can't tell you what it is, especially if it's a pink rose. There's
so many pink
like
roses.
6,000 varieties of pink roses.
Now, would petals give it away or help you?
Well, yeah, there's all kinds of things that help you identify a rose. Fragrance, bud form, the number of petals, the size of the plant, the prickles, which is the same thing as thorns, but technically
those are prickles.
Technically, they're prickles, right?
I got bit by one of those last week right into my fingernail.
And some roses have a lot. Some are almost thornless. Others have really large thorns. Others have small, sharp-pointed thorns. So
I would assume the prickles are a defense mechanism to keep animals from eating them?
Yeah.
What is the origin of the prickle, John?
The Vlasic prickles are the ones I like the best.
The crunchy ones, right?
Yeah, not the sweet. So anyway, that's what's going on with roses in my yard.
Did you see Rick's question on Facebook?
I'm just responding to it because John's too overwhelmed right now.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's because he's asking where's the rose list or where's the tomato list?
The list of grafted tomatoes for this year, John. And John does get overwhelmed. He works really. You would think John's staff is John. John does not really have a staff. It's John. So when you figure all those orders that go out, the packaging, the shipping, all that is John. He has his own staff. So, Rick, we don't know that yet.
He said next week.
We do, next week.
Next week, okay.
Right.
All
We're
right.
late this year. About 4 weeks late, but I've had a lot of other stuff I've had to do.
Sure.
So our list of, and we're going to have a few new tomato varieties this year that we haven't had before.
Do tell us.
I think one we're going to have is Get Stuffed.
Get Stuffed.
Right.
Never heard of it?
That's because it's brand new.
Ah, brand new variety.
Brand new. Get Stuffed with an exclamation point is the name of the tomato. And what's unique about this tomato is it's hollow. It's a striped tomato, so it's striped red and yellow or orange and yellow. And when you cut off the top of it, it's hollow inside, so you can use it for stuffing. You know, put tuna salad in there or something.
So there's no
Like a
meat
pepper.
inside? It's just skin?
It's just the wall of the tomato,
right,
and nothing inside.
And
hollow.
Who developed that?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
It's like a pepper, you know.
Right.
You've seen stuffed
Sure.
peppers, right?
Okay. Stuffed tomato.
Right. So we're going to have that one. And then I've been getting emails from, as a matter of fact, on Friday, I think it was, I got an email from a customer in Wyoming
Mm-hmm.
who said that she couldn't get grafted tomatoes anywhere, so she ended up buying them off our website, and she was so happy that I had recommended a few to her, and she was happy with everyone she planted, but she pointed out Super Fantastic, which she said was unbelievable.
Did exceptionally well for her?
Did really well. And then she said she really liked the flavor on Chocolate Stripes and Virginia Sweets.
And this is in Wyoming.
That's in Wyoming.
Wow.
Yeah.
You going to make it, Tiger? Tiger?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Tiger said he thought his was more grass allergies.
Yeah,
right?
I was
what did you-
digging yesterday. I
And you
feel like
inhaled what? It was a...
it was Bermuda grass. We were digging up dried Bermuda grass, and it just went straight into my nose.
You should be wearing a face mask when you do that,
Ah,
Tiger.
the hazards of what you
probably
do.
causes cancer.
I don't know about that. Hey,
I like the Get Stuff though. I'm excited about that one. I want to try that one.
Okay, so John, any more that you want to mention? You mentioned what, 2 or 3 there?
Get Stuff. The other one that I wasn't sure of last year, and one of our listeners up in Harry Olson up in Salem, Oregon, recommended to us is a tomato called Cloudy Days. And it's great for cool climates and coastal areas.
That's the name?
Where tomatoes don't really ripen and don't really do well.
Mhm.
There's a tomato that does really well called San Francisco Fog, but it tastes horrible. So this is like a San Francisco Fog tomato that tastes good. So you can plant that anywhere that you've
I
got.
can't imagine San Francisco fog's going to be around too long. People don't like it.
Been around for a long time.
I know, but people...
Yeah, but it's something that grows where a lot of people can't grow.
Yeah, I guess so.
it.
So you put up with that. So, yeah.
Even though as bad as San Francisco Fog is, it's probably still better than a store-bought tomato.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There used to be...
Rick wanted to know what our top-selling tomato was last year.
Our top-selling tomato is almost always Brandywine.
Brandywine.
The Sudeth strain, which is the original strain of the Brandywine tomato. There's been other strains since then that have been improved upon as far as growth patterns, but
Mhm.
not the flavor. So that's probably always our top seller. It's usually between that and Sun Sugar. And then our top selling new tomato last year was the orange Brandywine. And we got a lot of good compliments on the orange Brandywine. Great flavor. So
Good questions, Rick. We thank you for that.
yeah, we'll be putting those up for order next week. And some of the new tomatoes are going to be limited quantities, so you're going to want to make sure you get
Right.
your order in right away because we'll hold it for you. But just because of seed availability, we're not going to have an unlimited supply. Let's see, what else was... Oh, one thing I wanted to mention to our listeners is if you are looking to make a charitable donation, we've had Joe O'Connell on our show before, and she owns a company called Australian Native Plants. And she was in the area of California that was ravaged by the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the fire went through and not only burned her entire nursery, it burned her home. And she had a great collection of antique books on plants and posters and prints, botanical prints, and a seed collection, and all that's been lost. And she's just the nicest person. She originally came from Australia. She was with the Australian Department of Agriculture and came over here and opened up her nursery. And I've bought plants from her before. She's been on our show. And do you remember when we did the world's greatest plant sales?
Yeah, exactly, sure.
She had a booth there, and she sold out after the second day. I think it ran for like almost a week. And
yeah, I would imagine some of those books that she lost.
They're irreplaceable.
No longer available.
Right, and I'm sure they had insurance, but there's still stuff the insurance won't cover.
Here's the money, but you can't get back what you lost.
Right, and they have a GoFundMe page. So if I was just going to mention, if you want to click on GoFundMe and then just type in search for Australian plants or Australian native plants, you'll actually see a picture. Maybe I'll put it in next week's newsletter, but you'll see a picture of Jo and her partner standing in front of their burnt out nursery. And it would be nice. Anything, if you have $10, $20, you can easily put that on GoFundMe.
Hey, John, we should also mention, too, did you tell me there's 8 spaces left for the England trip?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that out. Yeah, we do. We weren't quite sure before Christmas whether we sold out or not, but we did find out we have 8 spaces left if you want to join us for the Hampton Court Flower Show next July.
Be a fantastic trip.
Yeah, England is fun.
If you like a lot of green.
A lot of flowers, too.
Yes, of course.
The last time I was in England, it was May. And actually, did I say June? It's July.
Yeah, it's June. Let's talk more about the trip after we come back from the break.
Right.
Again, 8 spaces left. We'll tell you about the trip and
what you have to do in order to sign up.
Absolutely. So do stay with us. Hey, we have one more segment coming up. Thank you for your Facebook Live questions. We do appreciate it. As you can tell, we get to those questions very quickly as possible. You can also email John. That's John at GardenAmerica.com. Taking a break. Coming right back. Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. I'm Bryan Main. It is 46 minutes after the hour.
You know, a simple change in your lawn care practices this fall can create a carpet of green next spring that's safe for children and pets. Hi, this is Bryan Main from Garden America. When the weather begins to cool, your lawn starts to build back its root system and needs extra nourishment. That's why experts agree that fall is the best time to fertilize your lawn. Most lawn fertilizers release their nutrients quickly, which produces lots of clippings and reduces root growth. But Milorganite, an organic nitrogen fertilizer, feeds your lawn slowly throughout the fall, providing more green color with less clippings and maximum recovery from summer stress. It's a trick golf course superintendents have used for decades. Milorganite applied now will help your lawn green up faster in spring while helping it recover quickly from winter damage. You'll improve your lawn's overall health and greatly reduce weed problems. So give your lawn the food it needs. Milorganite for better results naturally. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you. Again, that's Milorganite.com.
National Funding Group has just released $100 million in easy access small business funding to businesses that gross at least $100,000 a year. You can have fast access up to $500,000 in new business capital in as little as 48 hours. Think about the ways you could grow your business if you had up to $500,000 cash infusion. Call an NFG funding expert now. The process is easy. It only takes about 5 minutes. Then our management-owned lending team looks at your application for a fast approval. You can get 100% funded in about 2 days. If you need up to $500,000 in working capital to run your business and you gross at least $100,000 a year, call NFG and apply today. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. 800-296-1564. That's 800-296-1564.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-595-6619. That's 800-595-6619. Again, 800-595-6619.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, we specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-711-6812 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-711-6812. Again, that's 800-711-6812.
Biz Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the Garden America Radio Show with Bryan, John, and Tiger. The phone lines are open right now at 855-424-9825. That's 855-424-9825. Or John at gardenamerica.com.
It is our final segment, 51 minutes after the hour. John at gardenamerica.com. Hey, thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live. We do appreciate it. You can see us. We can see the camera.
Yeah,
Camera's
exactly
right there. That's what's happening. And, John, before the break, we were going to talk about, and still are going to talk about, the huge trip to England, which is almost sold out. Not quite. We have 8 spaces available, a great itinerary. This is not the kind of trip you're going to do on your own. Sure, you can go to London. You can see Big Ben. You can see, all the touristy things, Tower of London and all that. But that is not what this trip is about, John.
Plus, Big Ben has been on a diet. He's nowhere near as big as he used to be.
Not as big as he used to be.
No.
And that big old giant Ferris wheel that you like to go on?
I've been on that.
Have you really?
I have been on that. But the nice thing about this trip is it's going to go to the outskirts of London, to the Cotswolds. So when you think of English cottages and something that maybe you'd see in Victorian times.
How about thatched roofs?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So we're going to do that. Matter of fact, you can go to gardenamerica.com and you can click the links to the trip, and you can find a day-by-day itinerary.
Right.
So you can see what we're going to do each day. We'll do a few things around London. The very first thing will be the Hampton Court Flower Show, which I'm really excited, one of the world's largest flower shows. So that'll be really cool to see. And I started to mention that that's the 1st of July. First week in July is when the trip is.
Weather should be just perfect over there that time of year.
Well, because I started to mention last time I went was in May, and the roses weren't even in bloom.
No, it's still cool in May, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still too cool. So we had gone to the Chelsea Flower Show, and to see the roses at the Chelsea Flower Show, they all had to be grown in hothouses in order to get them to bloom for the show. So it'll be nice to see things in full bloom in the English countryside.
How far north are we? We're going. Then we go north. Is it northwest, northeast from London?
We're going to go northeast, but not that far.
Okay.
Not that far.
Not that far?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're not going up to Scotland or anything like that.
Not going to Stonehenge either, are we?
No, but you know, you might be able to work that out if you want to do Stonehenge.
Maybe just a quick little.
I think Matthew was saying it was a couple hours out of the trip one
Right.
day or something.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Kathy, and she had mentioned she had been to Stonehenge and really liked it. Yeah, I've got an email question. I don't know.
Is this the first one for 2018? Because this is huge, John.
First one during the show.
Okay.
I got a lot the last few weeks, or the last few days. And I can't, for some reason, I can't see what's going on Facebook. Because instead of...
You got to go back and forth from your email to Facebook.
Well, no, instead of the comments, I kinds of videos. I don't know what's going on.
What's your email?
But the email.
Nicely done, Tiger.
Email is from Lila.
In Poway.
In Poway. And she said that, first of all, she starts by saying Happy New Year. And Happy New Year back at you, Lila. She says she has an area where she planned to plant California natives in November, but she was under the weather and she didn't get it done. So now she wants to know if she has to wait till next fall, or can she plant them now?
I think she can still do it.
Well, here's the deal, Lila, is the reason you plant in the fall is the weather's not hot, and the plants have a chance to get established during the rainy season for the coming year. We haven't had our rainy season yet.
No, so you can still do it, hopefully. And we got a little bit of rain on Tuesday, but I'm not sure how much.
Coming this Tuesday?
Yes, but I don't think it's going to be a whole lot.
Yeah, believe it when I see it.
I know.
So yeah, now's a great time. Any time in the next 2 weeks would be ideal, and you probably can go all the way through into the middle of February and not have to worry about it. So go plan away. Do you guys have...
The answer is yes, Lila.
Yeah, and I think that you bring up a good point that even if it's not sometimes the most ideal, there could be circumstances that you work around. Like the whole idea. It's like, why do we plant in the fall natives? Because we hope we get rain. Well, if you don't get rain, you can still plant. You can still make it happen.
Everything is based upon a calendar and a season.
Yeah.
And living in San Diego, we don't necessarily follow that.
Right, and you can still do that. You just have to water a little bit more.
Exactly.
Be careful how you water or something. So that's one thing. You were mentioning, John, some more questions. So Carolyn mentioned that she planted a cloudy day tomato last year.
Right.
And it's still looking healthy, and she's looking forward to the crop this year even. Sounds like she's gonna carry over 2 years for the tomato, which is exciting. That's always fun when that happens. And then Lenore wanted to know a recommendation for a hot area tomato. I keep thinking tomato.
It's been a tomato rose show. It's okay.
Yeah, a hot area tomato.
When Tiger talks, everything's coming out roses.
It's true.
So as far as a hot area tomato, I think that, the common one, the Brandywine's a good one. That'll tolerate. A lot of tomatoes tolerate the warm temperatures. But
Usually
which one?
Usually the beefsteak tomatoes for slicing type tomatoes.
But you know which one I think, too, would do really well? And correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be wrong, is that Super Fantastic, though.
Yeah,
that seemed like it would be
pretty good anywhere.
A vigorous plant that was hardy when I saw it growing. So I think that would be a fun one to try.
One that they use in the southern states, or a couple they use in southern states that really take the heat and the humidity, are Costoludo Genovese. And
he's with the mafia back in the 40s, right?
Costaludo Genovese means the ribbed one from Genoa.
Well, see, there you go, mafia nickname.
It's a ribbed tomato. And sun sugar takes the heat really well, and black crim takes the heat really well. Then also the beefsteak type tomatoes like Mortgage Lifter will do real well. Tiger mentioned Brandywine. Orange Brandywine will take the heat.
Which we are adding this year? Or did we have it last year?
We had it last
Orange
year. We're going to add
Brandywine.
it again
Okay.
this year.
Okay, good.
So those are some that'll do really well. Most cherry tomatoes do well, but especially sun sugar tolerates the heat without any problem.
Okay, we are in the waning moments, guys.
You know, it's funny. One of my friends listening on Facebook was just listening and said, I'm in the Cotswolds. I'm living in the Cotswolds right now. So she was just listening to talk about our Europe trip.
And she's there right now.
She just posted right now the response to you. Saying,
Well, thank you.
Come and visit.
All right, we're coming.
Hey, that's going to do it for the first
Hi,
show
John.
of 2018. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you tuning in Facebook Live. Tell everybody else, your family, your friends. Let's get some more viewers on Facebook Live. Want to thank the entire crew. Want to thank our Biz Talk Radio crew, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. Have a safe rest of your weekend, a safe week, and we'll do it again next week right here. Until then, continue to get growing America. Take care.
The opinions you hear on Biz Talk Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of this station, Biz Talk Radio, its management, or advertisers. The information on Biz Talk Radio does